So it appears we may have had another would-be Trump assassin. Did we just have another attempt on Donald Trump's life? It seems like we might have. So apparently there was a shooting at the White House Correspondents Dinner tonight, and information is flooding in. It looks like the shooter has been taken down and taken into custody, and we're going to get into everything we know so far. It is Saturday night, about 9 o'clock on the West Coast here. So this happened within 3 hours ago. So we're going to go over everything that we know. Let's get right into it. So we'll go over to, this is from Pat Gray, Unleashed, and we're just going to look at some of the first footage that we saw, and we'll get into everything we know. So that's what we're going to do here. All right. So first things are just some of the footage that came out. This is kind of the first clip that was sort of going viral here, and this is just Trump being ushered away when the shooting went down. So you heard the shots there, several of them, and then you see this lady to Trump's left here. I don't know who that is. One of you guys probably does. She seems shocked. I don't know if she's shocked at the gunshots or something clever that this man is showing Donald Trump. We'll find out. But you heard several shots ring out. We don't know if that was from the shooter himself or from Secret Service. You hear a lot of bustling about in Russia's in Secret Service. And to me, this doesn't seem like nearly enough of a effort to secure the president right now. He's still just, it took him a while to get him up from the table, but they didn't get a bunch of people standing in front of him to potentially block any shots. So here's another angle of, this is more of the crowd. And you got officers in full SWAT gear.
Katie, do you have all your stuff? I'm fine.
Everybody looks very concerned, not really sure what to do. I'd say sitting up at your table and not hitting the floor is probably not the greatest thing to do during an active shooter situation. But neither is everyone getting up and running for the door.
Go to your right. Go to your right.
All right, let's keep going here. Let's go over to Chad Prather. Chad Prather says, this is the moment Secret Service agents escorted J.D. Vance out of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Let's check out this clip. So they secured J.D. before they secured Donald Trump. That's interesting.
There's the president being escorted. The president being escorted out one side. The vice president being escorted.
So it's kind of interesting how they took JD out of there first. I guess that's just because he was closer. So this is from Mario Narfall. He says, breaking new footage shows law enforcement and National Guard troops rushing into the Washington Hilton with guns drawn. Let's go to that clip.
Where's the coming from? Where's the coming from? Downstairs, left, downstairs. Where? Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from?
Bro, somebody go.
Everybody stay down, stay down. We got one down.
What the?
Yeah, quite the wild situation.
Oh my God.
Stay down, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, stay down.
The commentary is funny. Seems very hectic, and I don't want to call it unorganized. I'm not a law enforcement officer, but it seems like there isn't the greatest communication between agencies, but I mean, who am I to judge? All right, let's keep going. So this is footage that Donald Trump actually released on his Truth Social, and this is footage from the lobby. It's super grainy, but it shows the suspect rushing into the lobby and just running past security and the National Guard or the Secret Service. You'd think that it would be a much more secure area and somebody wouldn't just be able to run into the building. So let's watch this super grainy hotel footage. You'd also think they'd have better security footage, but this actually looks like it's a recording of a monitor, so it's going to be even worse. So you see the guy just run right in here. So he just runs right past everybody, and it looks like they opened fire on him immediately. Several officers opened fire on him immediately. But, I mean, how is this guy able to get this far into the building is my question. So we'll go over to Colin Rugg here. So he says, breaking: President Trump has shared footage with the White House Correspondents Dinner shooting and a photo of the suspect. So this is the suspect here on the ground. So same footage I just showed. Here's him rushing past security again. Secret Service drawing their weapons and firing on him. And then you see this picture of him face down on the ground. So that's what the suspect looks like. And then we'll go over to Nick Sorter. Nick Sorter says, breaking: the White House Correspondents Association dinner shooter has reportedly been identified as 31-year-old Cole Allen out of Torrance, California. Law enforcement tells at Carol Markowitz. So of course he's out of California. Thanks, dude. Just making us all look like crazy leftists. All right. So Allen is in custody and was reportedly a teacher of the month in December of 2024. So he's a teacher in Torrance, California. Let's just play this clip that he posted here. So this is the suspect, Cole Allen, on the ground there. Looks like they got him covered with one of those foil blankets for whatever reason.
Got it.
So Cole Allen, teacher of the month, December 2024, C2 Education of Torrance, California. How interesting. All right, so that's just footage of the suspect face down on the ground. Keep going. This is also from Colin Rugg. He says, the White House Correspondents Dinner shooter was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives, according to a D.C. police chief, Jeffrey Carroll. The shooter was identified as 31-year-old teacher Cole Allen from Torrance, California. The suspect emerged from a makeshift room near the entrance where there was no security, near where bar cats were stored, according to the New York Post. Why no security anywhere in the building? You have the president and the vice president are both at this dinner, including the head of the FBI, a lot of other really important people. He was in that room. He grabbed it out of a bag or something. The weapon was long and didn't look like a typical gun. A witness who was a volunteer at the event told the Post. It was reportedly believed that Allen was a guest at the Hilton Hotel where the dinner took place. Okay. So this is obviously planned in advance if he booked a room at the hotel and was staying there. So this clearly took some planning, especially if he came all the way from California. This is from Laura Loomer. So whatever you want to say about Laura Loomer, but she says, attempted assassin Cole Thomas Allen, a 31-year-old male from California, is a registered Democrat. That's according to Laura Loomer. We don't know if that's true, but that's what Laura Loomer is reporting. Jack Pasobiec says, breaking DC chief says the suspect was not hit by any Secret Service agents who opened fire on him. So everybody missed. How'd they get him down then? I'm curious. How'd they get him to the ground? So everybody that opened fire on him missed. That's not encouraging. That's according to Jack Pasobiec. And then Brandon Straka, he says, message I just received from an attendee regarding the security failure tonight. To get into the lobby of the hotel, they simply looked at the email confirmation. Anyone could have shown a screenshot and got into the lobby. There were protesters right across from the hotel screaming and yelling at attendees. They had no scanning or metal detectors until you walked 2 flights down to the ballroom where the president would be. The entire time I was questioning why security was so relaxed. So multiple people have talked about why security was so lax. This is from Kari Lake. Kari Lake says, I can't believe how lax this. Why'd they use the exact same term? But okay. I can't believe how lax the security was at the White House Correspondents Dinner tonight. Upon entering, nobody asked to visibly inspect my ticket nor asked for my photo identification. All one had to do was flash what appeared to be a ticket, and they were fine with that. When you consider you are entering a room full of fake news media, 90% of whom hate the president, you would think they would have better security. This is what happened when this is what happened when what sounded like gunfire erupted. On the way out, I called a bunch of the disgusting media who have been pushing hatred towards President Trump for years. They are a big part of the discord in this country. All right, let's watch some of the clips that she posted. There's just some cell phone footage recorded sideways. All right, you guys get the picture. We'll go to the next one. These are just some images, everybody on the ground. Same thing, just images of the inside. Okay, this is just weird, man. What the hell is going on? All right, so this is from Vince Talagavia. I don't know who this is, but he says, somebody tell me how an account called Henry. Oh, okay, so we're gonna get into the weird stuff now. There's already some weird stuff. So immediately everybody starts searching this guy's name, Cole Allen, on Twitter. They start searching his name, and one of the first things people came across was this. So this is wild. Somebody tell me how an account called Henry Ma 795618893 posts one thing in 2023, and he joined in December of 2023, and he posted this in December of 2023. The name of the person detained at the White House Correspondents Dinner. The sole post reads Cole Allen. That's all he posted, was just Cole Allen. That's the only thing he's ever posted. He posted it the month he joined Twitter in December of 2023, and he posted it on the 21st of December 2023. And the account was connected via web with no location. So on X, you can see people's location now. Well, you can see if they're in like North America or whatever. And he says, can anybody explain this? The conspiracy is going to be off the hook with this one. Already are. Yeah, I mean, so people found this so quickly because everybody started searching the name Cole Allen on Twitter, obviously. So that's weird. So this is the guy's account. Henry Martinez, and he's got a picture of Pepe as his PFP. So you see it at 6:07 p.m. on December 21st, 2023. And he joined, you can see the join date, joined December 2023. So he joined, posted Cole Allen, and hasn't posted anything since. What the hell? This is wild. Let's see if we can go to his account here. So at Henry Ma. Yeah, that's all. So there's the post right there. This is it. So this is the actual post. So people are already commenting on it. So the persistent Scott Pressler says, what in the world? This is all from an hour ago. So everybody starts commenting on it. This is hilarious. So Mays, Henry, the FBI would like to speak with you. The persistence, what in the world? Peter B, time travel is real. Aroused alerts, what? With the big wide eyes. And then Suppressed News says, WTF, how is this possible? LOL. Phoenix, this is a rabbit hole I didn't expect tonight. So the comments on this are hilarious. Let's see. Has he replied to anybody? So he's never replied to anybody. He's never replied. He only has one post, and it's Cole Allen. So what the hell? That is wild. That is just freaking weird. But we'll keep going because there's another weird thing. So this is Carolyn Levitt a few hours before the shooting, and she does an interview, and I'll just listen to what she says. It's wild because this is before the shooting. Carolyn Levitt says this.
To rumble, is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight.
What? What was that, Carolyn? What was that very specific choice of words that you used there?
Shots fired tonight. In the room.
There will be shots fired tonight. Well, that didn't age well, Carolyn.
So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I love it all. And you wrote most of it, you said.
I can't take credit. In true Donald Trump fashion, the man puts his pen to the paper himself. So it's a lot of his own work.
To rumble.
Okay, so that's also weird. All right, let's go over to Fox News here. Fox News shared a clip. So this is from Chris Manahan. He says, Fox's Aisha Hanse, Carolyn Levitt's husband, leaned over and told me right as the White House Correspondents Dinner was starting, you need to be very safe. He was very serious when he said that to me, and that kind of looked around the room and said, there are some call drops. So let's go to this clip from Fox News here.
I want to just quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt, the press secretary's husband. He was one of our guests. He was seated right next to me. And, right as the dinner was starting, the national anthem happened. And then he kind of leaned over and said, I watched you on TV. You do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was just very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, there are some.
And then the call drops. So who did she say said that to him again?
I want to just quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt, the press secretary's husband.
Okay. All right. So this is weird. Carolyn Levitt, before the shooting, says, jokingly talking about the speech Donald Trump's going to make, saying shots are going to be fired. And then Caroline Levitt's husband tells this woman that she needs to be very safe tonight. What?
He was one of our guests. He was seated right next to me. And, right as the dinner was starting, the national anthem happened. And then he kind of leaned over and said, I watched you on TV. You do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was just very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, there are some.
What the hell?
Sounds like we lost Aisha's phone there. And this happens, by the way, especially when you have so many people attempting to utilize the same cell service at the same time. I did want to add this while we.
Oh, the conspiracy theories are going to be off the rails tomorrow. So I just wanted to get this quick video out because I'm sure tons of information is coming in, but I just wanted to get as much information out there as possible. I'll be talking about this during my live stream tomorrow as well. But let's go to a couple clips from Donald Trump doing a press conference right after this happened.
And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight. And I will say, it's not a particularly secure building. And I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room and it's much more secure. It's drone proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. they've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before.
So people on the left are criticizing him for saying that, trying to use this as an opportunity to justify his ballroom that he's making. But I mean, those are some valid points there. The security was clearly not great at this hotel. And I imagine that a ballroom at the White House would be much more secure. And it is the White House Correspondents Dinner. So a ballroom makes sense, but I don't know. You guys tell me what you think of the comments. So let's keep going. This is from C-SPAN. President Trump answers questions about the shooting at the White House Correspondents Dinner Association. So this first one's from Peter Ducey.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you know, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this, where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country. And there are a lot of people that are not happy about that.
I'm going to bite my tongue.
Answer, Peter.
And after Butler, your team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink
No.
indoor?
Well, but then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to. It is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. You know, he charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
And what did you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving. And the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn.
Yeah, but apparently they missed.
Literally, by the time he was there, they were shooting. That's right. I thought they were very impressive. And if I didn't, I'd let you know. You know, I'm not going to be, I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats? Was your team aware of any threats beforehand? And do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy. And, you know, you never know. He was very far away from me. He had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table, who knows? But we had people all over the room, so he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of defense, and they got him. And they really
did they though?
Incredibly.
Did they shoot him?
We've had no. There was no notification. We had no.
Remember, according to Jack Pasobiec, they did not shoot him.
Idea. Go ahead,
Kevin. Any political motivations from this?
Well, you never know. Now we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. You know, he's in custody, and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over to.
It's just me, or is he being extra nice to Caitlin Collins from CNN? He's usually not very nice to her.
And they're already at his.
With good reason. She's terrible.
His apartment. He lives in California. Yes, sir. And they're over there, so they'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Caitlin.
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
Nothing. No, I mean, he was a guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. You know, they had him down. He was fighting hard. He was in my opinion, a sick person. Who would do that but a sick person? But I think you're going to find everything about him. No reason to talk about it now. But tomorrow at this time, long before this time, you're going to know a lot of things about him. They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and I feel that too.
Are you concerned about U.S. Secret Service protection ability? We saw several of the detainees. That's a good question. Minutes to be escorted out the room.
No, they acted very quickly. No, I was very impressed by Secret Service. I mean, I'm the one.
I wasn't.
And Mark, when you would agree with that, I think. I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Oh, believe me, because, you know, it's my life. And I want to live because I want to make this country great. That's why I want to live. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to the war in Iran?
I don't think so, but you never know. We're going to know a lot. We have the best people in the world working on it, and
He just said there's no indication of any sort of motive. Why? It's a terrible follow-up question.
we're going to know a lot. Please.
Mr. President, there's a lot. There's you as well as.
All right. So this is what we know so far. So the White House put out a post saying, in light of this evening's events, I ask all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our differences peacefully. President Donald J. Trump. So quite the eventful evening, I should say. Was there just another attempt on Donald Trump's life? It appears that may have been the case. So I'm sure we'll know a lot more about this tomorrow, and I'm sure I'll be talking about it on my live stream tomorrow night, Sunday night, 6 o'clock Pacific. Yeah, that is all I got. If you enjoyed this and you'd like to help the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. All right. Hope everybody's having a good evening, and I will see you tomorrow.